So I previously made a video on the valve train. Now this is just a continuation of that. Now what you can see being installed is the intake camshaft. Now as the cam rotates, the lobes of the cam then pushes down on the valves at an appropriate time to open them. If you're wondering, the tension on the springs then closes those valves once the lobe is out of the way. So the cam is secured by cam caps. The cam caps have to be placed in an order, and Toyota was so clever, they numbered them from 1 to 7 and stamped them with either an I for intake or E for exhaust. Now how clever is that? So if you're actually watching the video, you can see that I'm missing the number 1 cap. I install it last because it has a seal and some sealant underneath it to prevent any oil from the cylinder head leaking. Again, leaky oil, bad. So just like the crankshaft main caps and the cylinder head, there is a sequence to installing and tightening cam caps. Now, again, I ask you, consult your factory workshop manual for this information. This is the cam seal. It prevents oil from leaving the cylinder head. So now that the seal is in place, we can install the number 1 cam cap. So you can see some of that red, weird sounding goop. That's just assembly lube. It's there to allow for lubrication on the engine's first start. It's just to prevent any damage from happening while oil pressure begins to, flow through. Some people say, you don't need it. I disagree. So we can now see the exhaust cam being installed. It's not a good idea to drop your cam caps. As a matter of fact, it's not good to drop anything. I'm just really clumsy. Now here's something interesting. When you're installing, let's be real, anything, if it feels off, or you just got this gut feeling that something is wrong, do yourself a favor, undo what you just did, and figure it out. Things break and make your build process so much harder. Believe me when I say it's not a good idea to just, send it. Now, be careful because you might turn that righty-tighty into a righty-loosey, and that sucks. You ever look at your RPM meter and go, what's that measuring? Where's that measurement based off? Probably not. You probably don't care, but, it's measuring the rotation speed of the crankshaft, right? The camshafts turn half as fast. Now, that's all done with just different size gears, right? So, the crank timing gear is half as big as the camshaft, timing gears. It's all there because for every 360 degrees of rotation, one of your cams only has to spin 180 degrees. Now there's a timing belt or chain that connects between your crank gear and cam gears. This is known as valve timing. In the 1JZ GTE's case, piston number 1 needs to be at its highest point, otherwise known as, top dead center. And the cam gears have a little mark. It should be pointing straight up, or otherwise known as a 12 o'clock position. Now what you do, you put your timing belt on once everything is set, pull the pin on a tensioner that sits there flapping in the wind, and Bob's your uncle. So, Hope you learned something new. If there's any questions, let me know in the comments below. And remember, knowledge is horsepower.